Hi, I'm Angie, and today I'm in the workshop because I wanted to do a quick review on my Memorycraft 350e embroidery machine. Just in case somebody is interested in getting one of these machines, I thought I would talk about what I like about it and show you some examples of the stitching that it can do. This is the only embroidery machine I've ever used, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but I did do my research and I was very confident in choosing a Janome machine, and this one in particular. It's a standalone embroidery machine, which means it doesn't do regular sewing as well. And the thing I read over and over again was that this machine is a workhorse, and for the price point, it was perfect for what I needed it for. It comes with two sizes of hoops, a 4x4 and a 5x7. And a 5x7 hoop is really nice to have because I've read that most people will outgrow 4x4 hoop rather quickly, so it's nice to be able to expand. You can also purchase an optional giga hoop for this machine, and that doesn't mean that it can stitch a larger field. A giga hoop is more like two 5x7 hoops joined together. So you stitch out half the design and then flip the hoop and stitch out the other half. Here's an example of my first try at using the giga hoop. In my excitement, I forgot to calibrate the hoop once I turned it around and just started stitching, but overall it's pretty good. You can see the quality of the stitches are very, very nice. The machine comes with a lot of preloaded designs. There's a lot of florals, and there's some fonts in there, which is nice to have, and it's really good to get you started. Also included when you buy the machine are the vellum templates of each design that's included in the machine. So what you can do is cut these out and use them to align them on your item that you want to embroider. One optional thing I did buy was the cloth setter, and I found this extremely crucial in doing continuous embroidery and lining up the design. So you attach your hoop here and lock it in place, and then you align your design and put this down and align the crosshairs with the crosshairs in your template, and that way that you can see that it's straight in the hoop. Another thing you want to look for is the way to transfer your designs to the machine, and the 350e takes a USB stick, which is great, so you can go to your computer, get your downloaded design from whatever source on the internet or a CD or whatever, transfer it to a USB, and then just plug it into the side of the machine and you can access it here on the screen. So you can see some of the designs here, and you can scroll through them and choose what you want. Once you pick an item, it will ask you what size hoop you're going to use, and it will move into position. Here you can see all the information, how long it's going to take to stitch out, how many colors are involved, and so forth. What's really great is that you can move either the hoop to adjust where your design is, or you can also switch and move your stitches. So if your thread breaks or you run out of bobbin thread or something, of course you can move and get back to the starting point. There's also a trace feature, which is really nice, and that will trace the outline of your hoop area to make sure that your design will fit. In the edit mode, you can change the size, you can change the position, you can rotate your design. And what's really nice, I thought you could only rotate in 45 degrees, but you can actually, if you press and hold that, you can go in 1 degree increments, which is very, very helpful. Here you can see that you can choose between monograms or fonts. Inside the font you can see there's also 2-letter and 3-letter monograms, which is kind of nice. There's a thread holder on top of the machine, but I like to use my thread stand, which I got from Marathon Threads Canada, and it's very helpful. And you can have 2 spools on here, and it's so quick to change your threads when you need to. I'm just getting started, but I've realized that there's so much more you can do with an embroidery machine than just clothes. Of course, you can just monogram your clothing if you want to, but I've also done things like in the hoop projects, like a little pin cushion or a quilting block. I've also made a little pressing pad with a Teflon back. This is for using a little mini iron right in the hoop to press down onto fusible stabilizer. Of course, you can monogram items like little bags and things. You can see how nicely it stitches out. I made a little eyeglass case right in the hoop, and it even attaches the zipper closure right in the hoop, which is kind of nice because if you don't like to deal with zippers, you can just let the embroidery machine do it for you. I have made a quilt in the hoop. This was from my Craftsy class, and you can see how consistent and beautiful the stitching is. There's no variation because the machine is doing it for you. And I made this chicken quilt. I love how detailed the roosters and hens are. So you can see that you can do a lot more with an embroidery machine than simply embroider your name on towels, although that's really fun to do too. I'm having so much fun with this machine and learning all the features it has and what it can do. I can highly recommend the Janome brand. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. There's definitely a lot to learn when you're starting out in embroidery in terms of thread and stabilizers and how to position it in the hoop, but it's a lot of fun when you get going. I hope this gives you a quick overview of what you can do with the 350e. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll try and answer them for you. Thanks for watching, and if you're thinking about getting a standalone embroidery machine, I know that I really like my Janome 350e.